morning, everyone. Welcome to Sealand News Brief. This week is 11th week of the year, and 30-year fixed mortgage went up to 4.375. I believe is the highest interest rate. And if we take a look at 10-year Treasury yield, 2.110. So again, it's linked with 30-year fixed mortgage. When we see this rising in 10-year Treasury yield, we'll see also increase in 30-year fixed mortgage. 15-year even 3.625, and FHA is 4 point. So this week is we see quite difference from last week. Okay, we will talk about a little bit more in the news. Okay, the first news is local news. Edgewater redevelopment project got sued again. 중앙일보에서 3월 11일자 보고가 있었는데요. 아티클이 있었는데, redevelopment project at 615 River Road, former Hess refinery, includes 1,200 residential units and 200,000 square feet of retail stores and 2 acres of a playground and parks and a ferry terminal, etc. And if we want to take a look at the location, okay, as you can see this map, let's say this is a river road, okay, and this space is a 615 River Road, Edgewater. Okay. Now, currently Mitsua is here. Okay, Mitsua is here, and there's a Trade Joe here, this mall. Okay, so this is a shopping center, and it's in between 615 River Road, and also this is Sojo Spa right here. Okay. So it's a Trade Joe, the shopping mall, and Trade Joe spa, and south area is Mitsua. So it's surrounded by these stores, and this is a former Hess refinery. I believe it includes the redevelopment project, redevelopment plan right now applied to the town, and the current problem is the previous landowner. In other words, the previous lot owner sold this property to the developer, right? The 615 River Road development, the project owner. And the project included also, among the 1,200 residential units, it includes 180 units for low-income families. So it's about 30%. So it's good. And also the development plan, they donates the 5-acre lot to a public school. The public school needs this kind of a space. So everything's kind of planned and all set to go, except town approval. Now, the previous landowner claimed the town decision was unfair because when he applied, they didn't allow the zoning change, but new developer now applied this zoning variance, they approved. So he sued the development company. Well, actually, along with the town, I believe. And also Cliffside town also sued this project developer and also some other business owners, including Sojo spa owner, Mr. Joe Neshi. And so they sued the developer, claiming that project obstructs the view of Manhattan. So looks like this project got multiple suits going on. So future of this redevelopment project is unclear. 에지워터의 우리가 알고 있는 디벨롭먼트 프로젝트 이제 하나 있었죠. 615 리버로 조금 전에 그 지도에서 봤지만은 그게 헬스 그 정유 공장이었었는데 전에 그런데 지금 프로젝트에 의하면 물론 이제 믹스드 유즈 빌딩이고요. 상가 빌딩, 상가 스페이스가 한 20만 스퀘어핏 크죠. 그다음에 유닛도 1200 그 유닛, 레지던셜 유닛이 그 중에서 180개가 로우 인컴 유닛이었고요. 한 30% 차지한다고요. 그리고 이제 도네이션도 5에이커 땅을 퍼블릭 스쿨에 도네이션해서 쓸 수 있게 하는 그런 이제 전체적인 프로젝트인데 지금 소조에서는 먼저 조망권 때문에 수를 걸어놨었고 이제 이번에 크립사운 타운도 수를 걸고 또 이제 이 땅의 전 주인도 지금 수를 걸어서 타운이 unfair한 그러한 결정을 내려줬다. 자기가 어플라이 할 때는 조닝 변경을 안 해줬는데 뉴 디벨로퍼가 하니까 이제 조닝을 어프로브 해줬다. 조닝 베리언스를. 그래서 지금 또 수가 걸렸어요. 그래서 너무 많은 소송이 걸려 있어서 이 프로젝트가 앞으로 어떻게 될지 잘 모르겠다 하는 지금 견해가 나와 있습니다. Okay, the next news is housing wealth flowed to affluent in the past decade. That means in the last 10 years, the housing wealth we call basically is home equity increased tremendously, but mostly it's for the wealthiest family. Okay. The past decade's booming residential real estate market has enriched almost every U.S. homeowners, but the gains have largely benefited to wealthiest. A new analysis shows NAR reported this. So from year 2010 to year 2020, about 71% of the increase in housing wealth was gained by high-income households. Unfortunately, well, for them, fortunately, but in a kind of a large society point of view, is unfortunate. According to a report released Wednesday by NAR, overall, the total value of owner-occupied homes in U.S. rose 8.2 trillion over the decade to 24.1 trillion for the last 10 years. So owner-occupied home equity, basically, assets increased tremendously. And in 2010, the high-income homeowners held 28% of all U.S. housing wealth, but year 2020, that figures rose to 42.6%. So again, in terms of housing wealth, okay, basically, essentially home equity, it has been great to the wealthiest family. And the high-income owners now 42.6% of housing wealth. And this is kind of interesting numbers. U.S. homeowners rate, we often talked about homeowners rate, peaked at 69.2% in 2004, before sliding below 63% in 2016. At the time, as millions of households went through foreclosure or existed home ownership during the housing crash recession. So, but it has risen since then to right now is about 65.5%, 65.5% in the fourth quarter of last year, according to Census Bureau. So this is, again, unfortunate or, for some people, fortunate situation. And the middle income and low income households' share of total housing wealth declined in the decade ended in 2020 because they made up a smaller proportion of overall homeowners than they did in 2010. Okay, so in other words, this middle income and low income household even they reduced their portion. So that's why their house wealth declined. 지금 하우징 웰스라는데 구체적으로 얘기하자면 하우스의 에쿼티가 는다 뭐 이런 얘기를 많이 하죠. 그런데 지금 과거 10년 동안, 그러니까 2010년서부터 2020년 동안을 봤을 때에 지금 자산이 늘은 게 이 wealthiest family, 그러니까 부자들, 우리가 얘기하는 부자들이 거의 그 fortune을 가지게 됐다. 그런 얘기죠. 상당히 이제 사회적으로 보면 우리가 이제 아마 이 보고서, 이런 계통의 보고서는 하버드 대학에서 많이 나오죠. 하버드 대학의 뭐죠? Joint Research Institute Housing 그 joint 그 있죠. 지금 기억이 잘 안 나는데 입에서 풀면서 아무튼 그 학교 부서에서 이제 많이 나오는데 미국의 일종의 사회적인 문제가 될 수 있다. 그러니까 빈인가요? 부익부, 부자들이 점점 부자가 되고 속도가 빨라지고 가난한 사람들은 자꾸 이제 가진 게 적어지는 현상을 얘기하는데 그 코로나를 지나면서 그게 더했다 이런 얘기 나오는데 지금 NAR에서는 과거 10년을 통계를 냈더니 지금 이렇게 됐다. 그래서 이제 집을 빨리 사는 게 역시 이 에셋을 만들어가는 데는 최고다. 그리고 집을 빨리 살수록 오버롤 라이프타임으로 봤을 때에 에셋을 인크리즈 시키는데 제일 좋다. 그러니까 지금 이 홈 오너들 얘기거든요. 집을 가지고 있었던 사람들, 가지고 있지 않은 사람들은 less fortunate, 이런 그 베네핏을 누릴 수가 없었던 거죠. Unfortunately. 그래서 우리가 서로 경쟁 사회에서 어떻게든지 이 부를 축적을 하면서 살아가려면 부동산을 잘 활용을 해야 된다. 그래서 그거는 에이전트들도 중요한 거고 여기에 지금 혹시 투자자들이나 홈바이어들이나 지금 현재 렌트로 계시면서 집을 살려고 하는 분들은 염두에 두실 필요가 있겠다. Okay, next news is we often hear EB5 investment program. In fact, it was stopped since June 2021, but now they passed this act, they resumed. Okay? So EB5, the Reform and Integrity Act of 2022, resumed the program, and but now is a minimum investment. It went up, okay, from 500,000 to 800,000. So you probably heard many times 500,000, but now it's 800,000. And also you hear $1 million for non-targeted employment area. That's now becomes 1.05 million. Okay. So mostly the $800,000 investment package is for targeted employment area, we call, and a rural area. and the 1.05 million is for non-targeted employment area. Okay, but either for regional center or direct investment 5 investment. Mostly non-targeted employment area, you can be a single investor. You can be single investor, so you can purchase a real estate, and then you can apply this apply the permanent residentship, but the condition is you have to create 10 full-time employees. Okay, that's kind of most difficult qualification or condition for this investment. But anyway, if we have a time, we may talk about this program exclusively later on. But anyway, the limit now is increased. Okay, and the next news is yield on 10-year Treasury hits highest mark in years. Well, already we looked at the numbers, right, in the beginning. Now let's look at a little bit detail what's going on. Yield on U.S. government bonds have surged back to their highest level since 2019. No wonder the 30-year mortgage rate went much over 4.0 and 4.3 something, reflecting the investors' growing bets that Russia's invasion of Ukraine won't slow the momentum toward a higher interest rate. Well, but anyway, for now, the yield on benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury note settled at 2.139%, up from 2.004 Friday, and its highest close since June 2019. What's going on in general? Okay, why yield 10-year Treasury yield going up like this? Well, this is interesting because yield one time went down right after Russia invaded Ukraine. Okay, because when there is war, then the economy is unstable. Okay, then the investors, the money moves to the safest tool, which is U.S. bond. Okay, then yield, basically the yield itself, okay, going down. That's why it went down a little bit here. Okay, as Russia invasion sent cash flowing into safer assets. So that's why at the time the money went to the bonds, the 10-year bonds. So that's why the yield went down. Okay, but soon after it recovered. Why? Well, the yield have surged over the past week after that, with investors increasingly nervous that the isolation of Russia will add to inflation by boosting commodity prices. See, one time they worried about the war, but right next week, because of this Russia situation, and well, not because of Russia situation, even though there's a Russian situation, US has high inflation, so government has to do something. But if economy is not stable, okay, Fed will not increase interest rate. All right, so it's like a 2020 situation, catch 2020 situation, okay? But the investors sees that the market is stable enough so that Fed will increase interest rate. That's why the investors' money instead of going into the bonds, it moved out of the bond. Because as you can see, interest rate went up. If interest rates are going up, okay, and then Fed basically observe money. They grab the money instead of releasing money to the market. Okay, so bank will not have money to run, but investors' point of view is a good chance to give a bank money to run because interest rate going up. Okay, so they can get the more money from the market, not from the bond. Okay, so it's a very interesting situation. Okay, so that's why the money that went to the bonds now is moved out of bonds into the market. Okay, but that means the bonds yield going up again. That's the kind of situation. But in our business, the real estate business, bonds rate going up, and then our 30-year mortgage rate going up. Okay, that's what's happening right now. And as of Monday, interest rate derivatives showed that the traders think there is a nearly 69% chance that Fed will raise a rate, okay, at least 1.75% this year, from 31% a week ago. So a week ago, only 39% chance, they believe, but now this week, they believe 69% chance to raise interest rate up. By the way, FOMC meeting right now, today is the 16th, so it's on right now. So yesterday and today, FOMC meeting is on. And then maybe a few days later, we'll see a beige book, which reports the result of this meeting. We'll see whether interest rate going up or not. I definitely see the 70% chance, they say. Okay, so we'll have to see. And this is a 10-year Treasury yield graph from 2019, 2019, and 2020, and Corona hits here, right? The pandemic, and see, this is also, you can see why the 10-year Treasury yield went down. As you can see, if Corona hits the market, then economy becomes unstable. So investors, they believe in bond, US bonds. So money move to US bond. They buy more bonds. Okay, but that means yield going down. It's simply saying, we don't know a lot of economic theory behind, but I mean, the simple phenomena we can see, if money goes to the bond, okay, then yield going down. Money moves out of bond, then yield going up. Okay, so that's what we can see here. But economy becomes stable and then going up and up, but they went down, some kind of a turbulence, and then right now at the end it's going up. Okay, this is up right now. Okay, so went over a 2 point something right now. 일드하고는 우리가 피할 수 없는 게 일드를 잘 보셔서 뭐 복잡하게 너무 그러시면 그냥 일드가 올라가면 30년 고정 기자는 올라간다라고만 생각하셔도 되고요. 그래서 일드는 한 넘버로서 전국에 이제 리포트가 되니까 보시기가 쉬울 거예요. 그냥 저기 아무 데서나 그냥 치시면 돼요. US 10-year bond yield 이렇게 치시면 딱 숫자가 나오니까 숫자가 전보다 올라왔네 그러면 이자율이 올라갈 거라고 생각하시면 된다. 그러나 이제 무슨 일이 일어났느냐는 조금 이제 설명을 해드렸는데 아무튼 시장이 불안하다고 생각하면 돈이 반드로 몰린다. 근데 반드는 돈이 많이 몰리면 이제 수익률은 떨어진다. 그렇게만 생각하시면 되고 돈이 거기서 풀린다 그러면 나온다 그러면 이제 반드 일드는 올라간다. 그러니까 지금 전쟁이 나서 그 잠깐 동안은 시장이 밖에 시장이 불안할 거라고 생각해서 반드로 몰렸다가 그래서 이자율이 일드는 떨어졌었는데 1.722. 근데 이제 조금 지나서 보니까 지금 사실 오늘은 또 오일 값이 떨어졌어요. 그래서 스탁도 좀 좋아졌는데 그리고 시장이 견딜만 하다. 견딜만 하다는 거는 이제 페드가 이자율을 잡기 위해서 이자율을 올릴 거라는 얘기거든요. 이자율을 올리게 되면 돈은 반드에서부터 또 흘러나와서 시중으로 나간다. 그러다 보니까 이제 반드 일드가 올라간다. 그런 상황이 되는 거죠. 그래서 반드는 시장 상황에 따라서 굉장히 예민한 거는 있어요. 그러니까 그걸 그냥 좀 아시고 보시면 괜찮을 것 같아요. 물론 저도 경제 전문가는 아닌데 뭐 자꾸 이렇게 듣다 보니까 그런 이제 아이디어가 자꾸 생기고 그렇게 되는 거죠. Next news is Airbnb for office draws interest. This is an interesting news. Because we know somewhat Airbnb is successful. Okay, I think everybody agrees. Okay, sure. And some entrepreneurs have long sought to create a big online listing site for office space. Not the residential. Office space, somehow we can do online listing. So the same way, similar to Booking.com or Airbnb, list the property available space. That's what the new company is trying out right now. Flexible office operator IWG said last week that it is investing around $325 million into venture with Instant Group, which runs an online listing site for office. Yes, online listing site is available for office, okay, but it is not that successful, and it is very small at this moment. Well, while the number of existing sites for office space exists, none has so far managed to emulate the success of Airbnb or Booking.com. Residential. The Airbnb and the Booking.com is deal with the residential only. So this company is trying to emulate, to copy the success of Airbnb. That's what they're saying basically. Flexible spaces grew in the years before the pandemic, but they are still a small part of office sector, and the more common long-term leases still depend on brokers, real estate brokers. And so, but anyway, this company is trying to invest more money to to copy the success of Airbnb or the office space. 그 에어비앤비가 성공적이죠. So far, 뭐 코로나 때 뭐 다 마찬가지였지만 그러나 성공적이었고. 지금도 많이 활용하는 분들도 우리 중에 있죠, 다. 해외여행 갈 때도 그렇고, 부킹닷컴 같은 것도 있고, 에어비앤비도 있는데, 지금 오피스 스페이스를 그렇게 한번 해보죠. 그러니까 오피스 스페이스 리스팅을 그런 온라인으로 하는 거죠. 온라인으로 해서 이제 리즈를 할 수 있게끔, 아니면은 이제 쇼텀 같은 거를 할 수 있게끔, 아니면은 이제 쉐어링 하는 거를 이제 할 수 있게끔. 그래서 이제 WeWork이 지금 관심을 가지고 심지어는 호텔 레퍼런스룸 같은 것도 그렇게 빌려주고 그다음에 unused corporate office space 뭐 그렇진 않겠지만 예를 들어서 컴퍼니가 뭐 우리 같은 경우에 컨퍼런스룸이 아주 멋있는 게 2개 있다. 그러면 그거를 이제 빌려주는 식으로 그거 이제 우리가 온라인에 리스팅을 하는 거죠. 그러면 이제 누군가가 필요한 사람이 바로 온라인에 연락해서 이제 이렇게 할 수 있다. 그런 시스템을 지금 이 IWG하고 우이웍이 지금 시도를 하려고 하고 또 그 다음에 이 new company will also offer other products and service, including software to help companies manage remote work. 그러한 것들을 지금 또 하기 위해서 같이 소프트웨어도 지금 개발을 하는 그러한 새로운 컴퍼니들이 있다. 그래서 이 재밌는 뉴스인데요. 과연 오피스 스페이스를 에어비앤비처럼 어떤 사이트를 통해서 뭐 글쎄 5년, 뭐 3년 이렇게 하는 리즈 계약을 과연 할 수가 있겠느냐. 물론 쇼텀은 가능할 것 같은데 그쪽 비즈니스는 아직은 적은 부분이다. 그리고 대부분은 롱텀 리즈는 역시 브로커를 통해서 진행이 되고 있다 하는 월스트리트 저널 오늘 뉴스가 있었고요. The next news is the last news, the Bitcoin. Finally, we have some news for Bitcoins. I don't know how many people are you doing this, investing in Bitcoins. Personally, I don't. And so Bitcoin's price surged on President Biden's executive order to study digital currencies, a move the industry welcomed, but skeptics decried as a delaying needed regulation because some people believe the government will crack down, right? This cryptocurrency. But some people not. But President Biden ordered to study this cryptocurrency. The order, the task called ensuring responsible development of digital assets, directed agencies across the federal government to produce a report on digital currencies and consider new regulations. So government want to study officially. And it outlined the risks cryptocurrencies pose to the economy and national security and climate, while also noting their possible benefits. So they looks like they're going to do an extensive study on cryptocurrency. So it's mostly positive, I believe. And the details from executive order leaked overnight. 정식으로 발표한 게 아닌데, official is not officially announced, but leaked overnight. The price of Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency, rose almost 9%. So Bitcoin's price now is $41,910 Wednesday evening. And this one of researchers on this area, Duke University School of Law's Global Financial Market Center, Mr. Reiner said, leading up to this executive order, the narrative that had been circulating was that the admin was set to crack down on crypto. Up to this day, a lot of rumors going on, government will crack down on crypto. But with this order, now it's kind of 180% degree difference, okay? So it might be good news for Bitcoins. We'll see later on. 비트코인 값이 지금 쭉 올라갔죠. 왜냐하면 99% 올라왔다 그러니까 바이든 정부에서 안 되겠다. 크립토커런시를 연구를 좀 해봐라. 그러니까 어떤 이제 지금 내셔널 시큐리티에 어떤 문제가 있을 수 있는지, 그다음에 이코노미에 어떤 문제가 있을 수 있는지, 그다음에 클라이밋에도 어떤 문제, 그다음에 possibly 어떤 베네핏이 있는지 도대체 연구 조사를 좀 해봐라 하는 오더를 지금 내려서 지금 크립토커런시 분야에서는 상당히 박수를 치고 있는 상태다. 그렇게 돼 있고요. 아마도 방향은 다른데 사실 US 달러를 지금 여기도 나오죠. The digital version of the dollar, US dollar, right? 그런데 방향은 크립토가 되지 않고 이제 디지털 머니, 그러니까 다른 형태의 달러는 달러인데 다른 형태의 디지털 머니로 온라인에서 사용되는 그런 거를 지금 얘기를 하고 있는데 지금 이것과는 약간 좀 다른 방향인데 한번 더 두고 봐야 될 것 같습니다. Okay, anyway, it's good news. Last one is other news. Well, right now we in summertime system, right? And the bill for permanent summertime system passed. This bill passed in the Senate and will have to be passed in the House, and the President signed. But this is an interesting move. We used to have summertime and the 1 hour difference during winter time. This is too much, and a lot of research going on. It's not good for the health and also for economy. It's a lot of wasting, etc. So the Senate passed a bill. Let's keep the current system like summer, okay? The hour system permanent. That's interesting. 그 summertime이 이제 가능성이 이제 생긴 게 그냥 계속 summertime으로만 가자. 이게 지금 상원에서는 패스가 됐다 그럽니다. 그 중간에 가서 체인지하지 말고. 그래서 이제 하원에서 통과되고 대통령 사인하면 이제 우리가 시간 체인지는 하지 않게 된다. Okay, that's it for this week. Any comment? Any question? Okay, if you don't have, then we'll see you all next week. Thank you for joining us, and see you all next week.